Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with Yanzi, and we are talking once again about the American comic book industry, specifically DC Comics as a failed publishing initiative. Almost dead on arrival. Let's talk about all the problems that DC Comics has with this compact comic. Okay, why did they do this? So let's just call it what it is. DC Comics tried to shrink their comics in the wash to be manga size, and they lowered the paper stock. They try to hit a price point that would be a manga price point, but guess what? They're all colored comics. So that's the big thing that stands out. The other thing that stands out is it's all old shit. It's all old comics that you probably already have. Things like Court of Owls, things like All-Star Superman, things like Hush, Watchman, all of these things you guys already have. They actually did even a TV commercial about this. Now, me and Yanzi ventured to our local comic book shop, and we're going to get into this picture here with Joker and why it's a problem, but this is an actual picture from the comic book shelf. Now, I was over looking in the manga section and even the YA section looking for these books, because that's the whole initiative of this, is to get off this shelf. And I even looked at the American comic book shelf, and these did not poke out to me. So I went to the book counter, and I asked the lady, I said, look, there's some smaller versions of DC's book, a lot like manga size. Did you guys get these? Where did she shelve them? She's like, she looked at me really weird. And then she paused, and she's like, oh, yeah, we have like 3 of those. And I'm like, 3 of those? She's like, yeah, they're over here where the other comics are. And I'm like, I didn't see them. She takes me over, and at first she didn't even see them, and then she pointed them out. Now, here's the huge disaster. These things are getting lost on the shelf with the American comic book industry. So one, they don't stand out because they just kind of, like you see here, just wedge in and fit in wherever they fit in. And that you look right past them. 2, they weren't even supposed to be over here. They were supposed to be with the manga. That's the whole thing, is they're trying to hit, DC Comics thinks, lying to themselves, that being compact, like the commercial showed, fitting in your purse, your book bag, on the way, commuting, all of these things, that they're portable, and they needed to be smaller. Let's get into it.
So I was genuinely confused to see, because I remember seeing this image being shared around on social media, and I thought, well, this is how we'll find those comics in the bookstores, right? No, it turned out that it would come by mid-November, just in time for Christmas. Guys, this initiative was like how many months old? And then they're like, oh, look, you can buy it right now off the shelves, I guess. But in the meantime, you have to wait for this display that even tells people how to find it. Like, wow, okay.
And this is a big problem. This display, I'm not sure your local comic book shop is going to spend money for this. And if they do spend money for this, those slots will not fit other books. Okay. If you'll notice, these slots are basically crafted to fit only these books. So look, that stand isn't going to be $9. God knows what it costs. I don't really care. This should have been in my Barnes & Noble, my Books A Million, my brick and mortar bookstore. These things need to stand out, or they need to go on the shelf with the manga and the YA. Why? Because that's what's selling. That's why DC Comics shrink this stuff down. Now, instead, it's ending up on, like I showed, the bookshelf. Now, DC Comics didn't have to shrink these down and compromise the lettering, the paper quality, the integrity to generate a new SKU. Now, initially, these things will look like they sell well. Why? Because they have a new barcode. They're technically a new product. As far as Barnes & Noble and Books A Million and Amazon, this is a new product. It generated a new SKU. They're going to sell it again and order it like it's a brand new product. So the initial orders are going to look okay. They might not be great, but they're not going to look atrocious. The following books that will come into this wave is where it's going to live or die. And if you'll notice, there's issues with this Joker book, especially if you scroll down on the photo, if you can, Yanzi. There is not enough pages in that Joker book that they actually had to shrink the DC logo. If you look at the bottom of the spine, they couldn't even fit in the normal DC logo. The problem with this series is this imprint or whatever you want to call it, this publishing initiative, is not every book has integrity. It does not have a long run. It is not committed. None of these characters at DC Comics is committed to a writer and an artist solely. A lot of people come and go on these books. So there is no big solid run with a lot of these titles. And like this Joker book, which is Azzarello and Bermejo, solid book, not very many pages in it. So DC Comics looking for quality books that they can put into this line. Not everything's going to be a big, thick, meaty book and look like a deal for $9.99. Some books like Watchmen look like you're getting a lot for $9.99. Some books like Joker look like, if you're used to these big, thick books for $9.99, look like you're getting ripped off. Now, the only reason DC Comics isn't losing their shirt on this publishing initiative right now is because they've already made all their money on this. This is selling old rope. But what was the W in this? And the only reason that you're doing this is two reasons. Hit the manga audience, sure. But why are you trying to do that? Because of corporate heads that own the company. I'm hearing from industry insiders that I still talk to that DC Comics is up under a lot of pressure to because of low performance in sales. With the Absolute initiative, with the big drastic moves they're doing with Absolute Batman. I'm sorry, Batman is fuck. Whatever the hell they were doing with that, they are trying to sell to the audience that left, but also a new audience. Now, this is insane. You're trying to get the audience back that gave up on you, that you ran out with weird woke publishing initiatives with by every character in DC Comics is bisexual, and then at the same time you're trying to hit the new young audience that you never cared to nurture at all, like you were never pursuing them. So I mean, it's kind of flailing around as a publisher right now. But what it does look like to the corporate higher ups is it looks like they're polishing brass. Although it might be brass on the Titanic, it does look like they're putting elbow grease, if you would, behind publishing comics.
So here's the thing, though. We went and looked at the actual books when they were on the shelves. It looks like they just took the actual files and just shrunk them down. They were even trimmed to fit the dimensions of a manga-sized book. So there's some weird bleeds and everything happening with the artwork. So going forward for this line, though, the issue is that they will not have all this big, thick, meaty 12-issue volumes to fluff up anymore. Like, for example, they talk about the Kingdom Come book by Mark Waid and X. Ross will come out at 208 pages, which is still okay. But then you have some other books that may be like, really? Static Season 1? Okay. I'm not sure people would be hankering for that. But okay, 184 pages. Not too bad, I guess. Then you have Deceased for 216 pages. The trouble is that you lead the audience in thinking, well, for $9.99, you get a book this thick. And then your next wave, you say $9.99, you get books this thick.
And in a lot of these cases, some of these books, I would say All-Star did not look good to me because it was colored in a way to be printed on high gloss paper. Now it's on paper stock and it just looks muddy. The lettering is shrank down on this. DC Comics was too lazy to re-letter any of these books. So the lettering is just now a smaller font. And sometimes, depending on the lettering, meaning like if it's a colored word balloon or a sound effect, now it's kind of hard to read. And it's also, again, on a lower paper stock. So everything, and I know that sounds weird, but like some colorists have to know what paper stock they're coloring on or it just won't reproduce right. So there were, in some cases, issues with the artwork being reproduced on this paper stock and at this size. But look, you're only paying $9.99 for it. What do you expect, right? I don't know. I don't think the price point and the size is the problem with DC Comics. Actually, I don't think the problem with any of DC Comics is any of these books for publishing, except for that Green Lantern book there, Fear Sector. What is the issue is anything new that they're doing isn't hitting any respected fan base, meaning the retro fans that I call retro now, that they chased away. It's also not appealing to any new fans that maybe would give a shit about Superman, Batman, or anything. Everything is so, I mean, DC Comics should not be going back to Hush. DC Comics should take all the money and resources that they're putting into the Absolute line and be doing the same thing with Hush, but maybe be doing it with Superman. Just do the template of Hush, but with Superman. Have each issue Superman redefining a new Superman villain or something like that. Get fucking Jim Lee to draw it again for all I care. I don't know. But some of this stuff it shouldn't be that hard for DC to make a new book that somebody somewhere would care about. If you guys will hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Let us know below if you've seen these in the wild and what your thoughts are about them. And also, please go check out Inglorious Rex. We got like 24 days left on this campaign. Over $185,000. This is our third book in the series. Right now, this campaign is outpacing Inglorious Rex 2. Please go check this out. I'm sure you'll absolutely love it. If you like MMA, if you like Godzilla, if you love Rocky, then Inglorious Rex absolutely is for you. I'll leave you with this cool animation for our comic, and we'll catch you guys again with another video.
Yeah, I ain't gon' lie to you. Truth always hurts worse. Doing good till first reverse, now you last. Blast of the past. It's cool though. Last card, play it right. Uno. We never let up. Been down forever. Sick man, we fed up. Know that we tired. Wake up the beast that's been sleeping inside. It's time to ride. We ready to slide. Hard headed, I will not listen.